sound of chilling wind, distant church bells, faint whispers. Imagine living in a world where the devil is real, where spirits can harm you, and where the word of a frightened child could mean your death. In 1692, the Puritan village of Salem, Massachusetts, became the stage for one of the most infamous witch hunts in history. It was a time of fear, suspicion, and hysteria, where neighbor turned against neighbor, and the line between justice and vengeance blurred into nothing. Life in 17th-century Puritan New England was a constant struggle against harsh winters, disease, and the ever-present fear of the unknown. The community of Salem was deeply divided. Salem town was home to wealthy merchants with connections to the wider world, while Salem village was populated by poorer, more isolated farmers. This division fueled resentment, land disputes, and a bitter power struggle over who would lead their church. For the Puritans, the devil was not a distant concept, but an active force in their daily lives, and these tensions created the perfect environment for suspicion to spread like wildfire. In the winter of 1692, the daughter and niece of Reverend Samuel Parris, Betty Parris, and Abigail Williams began to exhibit bizarre and terrifying symptoms. They thrashed their bodies, screamed strange cries, and crawled under furniture as if tormented by an unseen force. When the town doctor was called, he could find no physical cause for their suffering and declared, "This is the work of the evil hand." Soon, other young girls in the village, including Ann Putnam Jr. and Mercy Lewis, began showing the same strange fits. Panic gripped Salem. The devil was at work in their community. Pressured to name their tormentors, the afflicted girls pointed their fingers at three women on the fringes of society: Tituba, an enslaved woman from the Caribbean; Sarah Good, a homeless beggar; and Sarah Osborne, an elderly woman who rarely attended church. These women, different from the respectable Puritans, became easy scapegoats. Under brutal interrogation, Tituba confessed. She spun a fantastical tale of black dogs, red cats, and witches flying on poles. Crucially, she claimed there were other witches in Salem, igniting a wave of paranoia that would soon consume the entire community. To handle the escalating crisis, Governor William Phips established a special court, the Court of Oyez and Terminer. In a fateful decision, the court allowed the use of spectral evidence, meaning that dreams and visions could be used as proof of witchcraft. The courtroom became a theater of chaos. The afflicted girls would scream and fall to the floor, claiming the accused was invisibly tormenting them at that very moment. Bridget Bishop, a tavern owner with a reputation for being outspoken, was the first to face this new form of justice. Accused of bewitching everything from cider to her neighbor's pigs, she was found guilty and became the first person executed in the trials. The executions that followed were a series of tragedies. Rebecca Nurse, a respected 71-year-old grandmother, was condemned despite a petition signed by her neighbors attesting to her good character. Martha Corey was accused simply for questioning the legitimacy of the trials, and George Burroughs, a former minister, recited the Lord's Prayer perfectly from the gallows, something it was believed no witch could do, yet he was hanged anyway. Perhaps the most horrifying end was that of Giles Corey, an 81-year-old farmer who refused to enter a plea. He was pressed to death under heavy stones, and his legendary last words were a defiant cry: "More weight." By the end of the summer, the hysteria had spiraled out of control, with over 200 people accused. Not even children or devout church members were safe. The accusations reached the highest levels of society, and eventually, even the governor's wife was named. This overreach finally caused public opinion to turn. Prominent ministers like Increase Mather began to speak out, warning, "It is better that 10 suspected witches escape than one innocent person be condemned." In October 1692, Governor Phips halted the executions and dissolved the court. By then, 19 people had been hanged, one man pressed to death, and several others had died in the squalid prisons. In the years that followed, the community grappled with its guilt. In 1697, a day of public fasting was declared for repentance, and Judge Samuel Sewall publicly apologized for his role in the trials. The Salem witch trials remain one of history's most haunting reminders of how fear and hysteria can destroy lives when justice gives way to panic. The events of 1692 raise a timeless question. Could something like Salem happen again? Not with witches, but with new fears and new scapegoats. If you want more deep dives into history's darkest chapters, like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, the lessons of Salem warn us. Fear can kill truth, and hysteria can kill justice.